I got one right here. BlackRock strikes 23 billion deal to place Panama Canal ports under American control. The Hong Kong-based conglomerate that operates ports near the Panama Canal has agreed to sell shares of its units that operate the ports to a consortium including BlackRock Inc. after President Trump alleged Chinese interference with the operations of the critical shipping lane. In a press release, CK Hutchison Holding said Tuesday that it would sell all shares in Hutchison Port Holdings and all shares in Hutchison Port Group Holdings in a deal valued at $22.8 billion. The two units hold 80% of the Hutchison Ports Group that operates 43 ports in 23 countries, including two of the four major ports that exist along the Panama Canal. The deal would give the BlackRock consortium control over 43 ports in 23 countries, including Mexico, the Netherlands, Egypt, Australia, Pakistan, and elsewhere. The consortium comprised of BlackRock Global Infrastructure Partners and Terminal Investment Limited will acquire 90% interest in Panama Ports Company, which owns and operates the ports of Balboa and Cristobal in Panama, according to the filing. So basically, he went in there and strong-armed, wrestled away, I should say, control from a group that was based in Hong Kong, which is controlled by China. So that's kind of, I mean, you know, they do have an influence there. There's a sphere of influence in that kind of a situation where you have a company that's based out of a satellite, you know, city or whatever you want to call Hong Kong inside of your country. You're going to have more. There's going to be more, you know, bilateral kind of conversations with those groups and kind of making that your port. So I get where they're coming from. I don't think there was a negative thing for us. I think a good business deal is never a bad thing. I think when you start using military as a means to getting a business deal done, that's another thing. But at the same time, we act like this is good for America. Is it? I mean, it's better for America that American companies have this, but the American people, we could have done this and with a sovereign wealth fund and had America. We were actually making money off this ourselves instead of letting BlackRock do it. That owned all these ports. America could have owned them. You know what I mean? Like, why are we? It's like we're using our military to make deals for private companies.
Yeah, well, I mean that's what America's owned by now. Like we need to just get on to that. That's what this $5 million coming to America, be a citizen thing is. It's to let people that own businesses come into America, open up businesses, not have any regulations on whatever they're doing, and basically strong arm and control the American people. That's kind of what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And everyone's going to sit down. You're going to take it. You know what I'm saying? Because you had your chance to fight it, you chose not to. You know what I'm saying? You tried to be you wanted to be ill-informed, and now you're all going to pay the price. The thing in Panama, he was like, yeah, we gave it to Panama for $1. It shouldn't be owned by China, so we're going to take it back. BlackRock is a company. They're the reasons that you can't afford a home. People don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? They made it here in America where you can't buy a home. You can pay rent for $4,000, but you can't get a loan.
I think his name is Lawrence Finch or Larry Finch, one of the two.
He said people in America are going to rent everything and they're going to like it. I mean, you kind of rent everything now. Like, and I've pointed this out to a lot of people too. I'm like, look, you don't own any of the media you listen to. You're watching this on a streaming service. You're listening to this on a streaming service. You don't own any more DVDs anymore. You don't own any more CDs, tape cassettes, none of that stuff. Everything you do is streaming. If you don't pay for your internet, there's nothing you can do anymore. You know what I'm saying? You barely own your land. You barely own your home if you don't pay the tax on it. You don't own your car if you don't get the tabs for it.
Yep. I mean, and at the same time, too, we have to look at it from this perspective as like this is when you look at like you said, JP Morgan has come out with a plan. Them and another private equity firm have come out with a plan basically where they're going to build entire communities, huge communities, thousands and thousands of homes, and they'll be like forever rent homes. This is the idea that they came with. Instead of going from where we had Kamala Harris talking about building 3 million to 5 million homes that could be bought by Americans, single family homes could be only bought by American citizens. Now they're talking about, you know what we're going to do for you? We're going to build thousands and thousands of homes that you can never buy. You forever rent.
Yeah.
And they'll control that rent forever they want to control that rent at. And they'll make it so that, you know what, and you'll like it too, because they'll make you believe that you're a part of this some way, shape, or form. Oh, we're helping you out too, because you don't want rent control, do you? That's socialism. That's communism. And you'll go for it. And that's why we have 77 million people in this country who went for the lie that was, this is a better administration for the American people. And you're seeing exactly what they're about. They made you clap and applaud that we got the Panama Canal. No. BlackRock got the Panama Canal. Them and their investors got that. And most of their investors, or a lot of them, are probably outside this country. Don't care nothing about you. And they're going to automate your ass up out of a job as soon as they fucking can. Excuse my language.
Well, I mean, after a while, it's like you can't blame anybody anymore. Like they said, oh, it's the DEI hiring. Okay, cool. You fired all them. You know what I'm saying? Oh, it's the past administration. They're all gone. You done changed everything. There's no one else left to blame but yourselves. You know what I'm saying? You can't blame the immigrants because they're in hiding. They're not coming out to work. That's the whole thing. I think he played his cards too quick. You know what I'm saying? Because when things start to fall apart, who are you going to blame?
He's going to blame somebody else, and he's going to make sure everyone else understands it was Biden's fault. It was Obama's fault. They were weak, and this is why this is the way it is now, instead of all the things he's actually done.
I mean, going back to when he's trying to blame Obama, it's kind of funny. Like, bro, Obama ain't been around in like 8 years. Like, and you was president after him. So everything you did after him is on you. You can blame Joe Biden all you want, right? But you were still there. They were still undermining Joe Biden's presidency. There were still people that tried to overthrow the government that were undermined. That's why America got so fucked up, messed up in the first place. Because you had people that tried to overthrow the government that were still in the government undermining his administration. And he was just taking it. And they were just letting it happen. Like me, if somebody tried to overthrow my government, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's going to Guantanamo Bay. Every last one of you. Prove that you didn't. Yep. Prove that you didn't do it.
Get Mo. Figure him out. Figure it out from there.
Yep. Figure it out from there. But that shows the Democrats are weak, and that's why they lost the country. And America's not America no more. It's going to be whatever he want to call it. Just like he's like, oh yes, in the Gulf of America.
He wanted to make sure he put that in there, didn't he?
He said it a couple times. Oh yes, and we're going to name a park right off the coast of the Gulf of America.
Yeah. This guy, man. One